a thread by Soul War. All the Democrat eggs are in one basket, named Joe Biden. Right now, the nation appears to be in crisis regarding the November election, as we have two parties claiming victory and neither candidate will concede. Everything is in limbo right now as we wait to see who wins. I know Trump's already won. This is a culling and positioning phase where President Trump, victory assured, is assessing the loyalty and dependability of the GOP. He'll cull the disloyal while letting all of his enemies on the left tie themselves to the steel, to doom themselves. All of Trump's and therefore America's enemies are now irreparably hip-locked to the false reality that they are trying to ram down our angry throats. Trump is about to destroy that false reality in such a decisive and unrecoverable fashion, they will all be left floundering and powerless. Just today, December 7th at 9:37 a.m., Donald Trump tweeted, "The Republican governor of Georgia refuses to do signature verification, which would give us an easy win. What's wrong with this guy? What is he hiding?" The only question I have now is how will President Trump do it? He has several paths to victory. The states, the federal courts, state courts are a bust, but no surprise there, the Supreme Court, and what else? Allow Thomas Wichter to explain the fourth path. Link in the thread to the YouTube video. Here is the article he referred to. Please read it. Link in the thread, libertyunyielding.com. In Trump's campaign to save the republic, we haven't seen the key supporting effort yet. Please read it. It makes everything President Trump has done or not done perfectly understandable. The author was in military intelligence and makes key assertions regarding the U.S. military's capabilities. There's also an audio version of this article on this channel by J.E. Dyer of Liberty Unyielding at OptimisticCon on Twitter. It is a clear-eyed assessment of what's unfolding. Yes, it's a theory, but one backed up by experience and an understanding of how the chief executive would react to the threat being imposed by a wildly telegraphed election fraud before the fraud took place. This opens up at a fourth possibility or path. Joe Biden cannot be sworn in as president because he and his family are a national security risk. This would be backed up with hard evidence. Link in the thread. You know, the evidence the mainstream media suppressed before November 3rd. What if the three original paths were nothing more than a distraction? Useful in that they show the American people the evidence the state courts won't allow to be heard, and familiarizing awakened Americans to how the steal was accomplished. The article's main effort. After a solid month of dozens of evidence-backed stories, that main effort has been accomplished. The author asserts that there is a supporting effort underway, legal, and another waiting in the wings for the proper moment. I concur and also agree that the mainstream media has sidelined itself. The key supporting element will be military intelligence tasked with studying and then assessing the national security threat posed by individuals that appeared to be preparing to cheat in the 2020 election. Surveillance and the intention to use Smartmatic and Dominion as well. I assert that Trump caught them all in 2018, and he did it again in 2020. Krebs and CISA were clearly a redundant federal agency Trump created to give the appearance he was trying to respond to the 2018 midterms, where the Democrats cheated like freaking bandits. Trump didn't act to stop the cheat in 2018 because he was focused on building the Senate, but eyes were watching and assessing how the cheat was done and by whom. So, in 2020, Trump was ready. So, why is everything so crazy right now? It's another lesson President Trump is teaching us. When he shatters their false reality, he'll shatter all of them at once. The people trying to jam the Great Reset down our throats with their draconian lockdowns to leave you no options but to obey will be left with no options themselves. They will be utterly broken. Okay, how? Did you read the Senate report I linked? It's damning and it's official. The United States government has the evidence, and it doesn't matter that the mainstream media buried it as a news story on TV. This is actionable, folks. It cannot be ignored by anyone who takes their oath seriously. USA.gov Official Guide to Government Information and Services. The fourth path is Biden either concedes or is declared a threat to national security and is then charged for egregious violations of federal laws. Yup, Biden is a poison pill the United States government will refuse to swallow. They're about to spit him right back into the left's stunned faces. Why do you think I've been calling everything they're doing a charade for the past 3 weeks? The government is acting like Trump's not leaving because Trump's not leaving. I will say it again. We're the DC Democrats. They are savvy enough to know what's coming. They're hiding. The mainstream media and the social media giants are the ones fighting Trump's second term tooth and nail, stupidly, uselessly. I anticipate at some point this week, China Joe is going to be getting some really, really bad news. I'm thinking he will concede because the evidence is damning. Look around you. Worlds are about to collide. One world backed by the Constitution, overwhelming, rock solid evidence, and the determination of patriots to preserve our republic, into a shell of lies, deception, and bad intentions. To me, the outcome was never in doubt. I predict the shattering will begin this week. The key element supporting President Trump will be revealed, and it will be damning. Biden will then have two options: concede or face the consequences of his bad deeds in court as he dies by 1,000 cuts of evidence. We're good either way. President Trump was never in any danger of being cheated out of a second term. As Victor said, he dug the mother of all tiger traps, and the Democrats and all their vile allies fell right into it. By December 15th, I don't think we'll still be in limbo. We'll be back on solid ground. For the run-up to an amazing 2020 Christmas, Biden will probably concede. Imagine the left's Christmas when he does. Anyone thinking Trump would be too timid to call a traitor is deluding themselves. The only question now is what path Biden will choose. To support the works of Brent Cates, donate any amount at paypal.me/Brent Cates. Also check out the Americana Rising Teespring stores, link in the thread.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.